This next-gen demo is presented by State Farm. Next-gen, PS4, it's that Killzone game, you know, the kids have all been talking about. I have to be joined by Herman Hulst. I do that right?
Great job.
Yeah, okay, good.
Could not be better.
You are the director over at Guerrilla Games. Thank you so much for your time. So, you are a launch title for the PlayStation 4.
That's right.
It is a signature franchise that usually is known for pushing the technical, at least the visual boundaries of what the system can do. Any pressure?
You know, hardly. As I say, it's a breeze developing a launch game. Yeah. No, really. I mean, we're doing the graphics thing with the fresh new look and the HD and what people expect from it. But I guess more importantly for this E3 is the gameplay side of it and all the innovations that come with that. Just as important. But yeah, pressure. Lots of it.
Yeah, well, then also you guys went through a lot with Killzone 2 where there was so much skepticism that it would actually look like that. I mean, You've been down this road before.
I have, and that's why at the 220 event we had live gameplay, right? No trailers, nothing.
No.
On stage, 7 minutes of live gameplay.
And you did the same thing in February.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, you were talking about that. I was thinking about years ago with Killzone 2.
Yeah.
But with no more ado, let's take a look at the game. What is the Killzone setting? I mean, it doesn't have a number after the title.
Yeah.
So how does it sort of fit into the fiction?
This is 30 years on from the end of Killzone 3, and we're now on the futuristic planet of Vecta. And the new thing is that it's kind of a Cold War setting now. Cold War inspired setting, I should say, with the Vectans and the Helghas living side by side. They're divided by a vast wall that encircles the entire planet. But because of that close proximity, you get a different kind of conflict, different kind of gameplay through. You get deniable operations across the wall, for instance. And this level here that you see, we play as a Shadow Marshal. The enemies didn't know he was there, of course, until you killed the guy. And you're Shadow Marshal, and you are. You're retrieving some intelligence that a crew that got downed on their intruder lost. That's your objective here.
Now, I was noticing earlier that there was kind of almost like a sonar thing that he was sending out on the ground. It sounds like that there might be more tactical elements.
Yeah, lots more. That's the tactical echo. You can spot where your enemies are behind cover. But you have this flying companion, the drone, the tech drone. We call it the Owl. It's got lots of abilities. You can zipline free form through the level. Makes it very swift, very quick. Right now here, as you see, is the attack mode. So you can really use it to either kill enemies or draw fire from, so you can flank them.
Sorry, I was distracted by the sun coming in through the trees. You're just doing that to show off.
Completely, yeah. And we want you to feel close to this world. This is your home world that's under threat. So we added a lot of beauty to it.
Right, and obviously the color palette, which had been a criticism that had been leveled at you guys, with the other Killzone games, you seem to be addressing that with a vast variety of colors. I mean, is it nice to be able to not have such an industrialized setting that is so war-based? I mean, is that something that you can help affect the gameplay?
We have a wide variety of settings. It's not so much that we're not doing the look of Killzone 2 and 3 per se. You saw some of these kind of these color palette environments in Killzone 1. So we always like to look back at the franchise and then take inspiration from that. But there will be some pretty Killzone 2, 3-like environments also. But I love the fact that you're now fighting in a forest. It's great to have that.
Yeah,
also.
I mean that's not the first thing that people think of when they think of the Killzone franchise.
Shooting Helghas in the forest.
Yeah. So obviously the game is gorgeous. You can see that's rendering very large areas. How is the game also using stuff that's in the PlayStation 4? I mean, is it using anything with the cloud and some of the other new bells and whistles that are going to come with the console?
So we're basically everything that's available at launch. We're going to make use of Play Go is a big one, right? You download a level, you start playing. So we'll support that. Remote play. You can play it on the Vita. We'll do that. Everything in the controller. So the Owl that we were just talking about here, the drone. You can control it on the touchpad, on your DualShock 4. We've got the nice outward-faced triggers that we're using for fire. Everything. The speaker is for radio messages. Everything that's there we'll use.
If this plays on the Vita, I mean, look, this is a remarkably good-looking game. I'm having a hard time. Is it just streaming from your PlayStation 4, and that's what you're able to maintain?
Exactly, and you'll control it on the Vita. That's exactly it. So we're still working out final controls when that translate right from the DualShock 4 back to the Vita controls.
So I also wanted to chat with you. We just had the gentleman from Machine Games who are making Wolfenstein on, and I was asking him kind of, there's a lot of questions there. Where can we go with the shooter? I'm not saying that people are correct in thinking that somehow there's too many of them and there's nothing that's innovating with them, but as someone who has really worked in this franchise, or in this genre, for so long, what do you, where are your ambitions maybe with this game or further down the line that you want to go with the first-person shooter?
Well, what we did with this game is, comparison to Killzone 2 and 3, I think we're kind of roller coasters. That was also quite popular. But this is more like an amusement park. You get to pick your rides. It's a lot more free form, and the scale is much wider, maps are much bigger. What you see in here, the mission objectives, you can pick any order to play them, and they actually do affect the gameplay. So you switch off the alarm in the comms tower, your enemies can no longer call on reinforcements. So it's kind of your own style of gameplay. We're not so much looking at the general trends, we're kind of looking at what we're doing rather than what the competition's doing.
And then I'm looking right. I'm assuming this is just a beauty shot. This is you just making a point about what you're doing with your lighting.
Right? Take a photo, send it home.
Lighting engine.
Hi, Mom.
If you don't mind just giving some context to our viewers as to what is so unique and remarkable with what you're pulling off with the lighting and it going through the trees right there.
Step 1, hire amazing artists. Step 2, make sure you got a great engine. I mean, it is just a lot of detailed work. I'm not really the one to speak on the engine part specifically, but we did want to have a lot of these kind of shots to have nature, create an environment that you care about rather than feel that's destroyed and you want to leave it. And so you're now on the Helghast side, so you're behind enemy lines right now. That's why you see a lot of these enemies here that aren't reacting initially. They don't know you're there. Pretty water. You like the water?
Yeah, I am getting lost
right?
in these visuals right now.
Like you stop asking questions. You're like, the water.
You got me kind of impressed. So where do you also? How do you describe sort of Killzone? You've never really made it clear that there are good guys and bad guys. You're fighting for one side. It always has been somewhat ambivalent. Is that still present in Shadowfall? And am I reading that correctly? Like, what has always been sort of the story or the subtext you're trying to convey with the Killzone franchise?
You're spot on. There's shades of grey. The Helghast, they were attacked. It was a counter-attack, but still their home planet was blown up. They're now given sanctuary, so they live on the home planet of the Vectans. They are the bad guys, but they're really just surviving, whereas the Vectans are protecting their way of life, really. So they each have strong motives to fight the fight that they're fighting. And it's not good and bad. It's not that simple.
And obviously Killzone 3 ended in, first it was genocide. That was kind of, like the entire planet was pretty much sort of wiped off the face of the earth. How do you sort of build that into, is there any sense of regret 30 years past in the world of Shadowfall?
Well, there is, right? That's exactly why the Helgen, they now live in this planet. The Vectans, they had to give in to them living on the other side of the wall. Not that much like it, right? You have your arch rival, your historic foe living in that close proximity. But yeah, that is in a way redemption for the Helghast, having this home turf, but then again, it's not their home.
Guerrilla Games, it's based in Amsterdam.
Correct.
Yeah, I was just curious. It is a unique story. It's not what you typically get, especially out of American shooters, which tend to sort of go for just straight up heroism. I mean, is European history, and obviously Holland was caught right up in the middle of World War II, is that some of the stuff that does inform the philosophies that are inside of Killzone?
It might be. I mean, we have developers from, I believe, 40 different nationalities. They each take their own background. It might be that, things are not as black and white. They're not cowboys and Indians, right?
No. With cowboys and Indians in mind, I assume multiplayer will be returning with Killzone?
That is a correct assumption, Adam.
Good. That's good, because when you pause there for a second, I'm like, we may have to talk with the camera off.
No, multiplayer is the other half of the game. It's going to be super ambitious. I don't have any details on that quite yet, but they'll be to come soon.
All right, well, I look forward to hearing about that. Thank you so much. Obviously, it's launching with the PlayStation 4 once that date has been determined.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.